welcome back to another episode of Treknicity, a Star Trek podcast. Show where a couple of guys, sometimes more than a couple of guys, talk about Star Trek. I'm your host, Lars.
And I'm Patrick, and I like a lot of guys all piled together. Ooh, wait, what? Okay, anyway.
Yep. Well, that's one way to grab the ship's
We've
wheel
got-
and just yank it sideways.
Emphasis on the yanking. Anyway,
In this episode, we're going to be talking about the best of Starfleet's engineers. Or I guess technically it's all Starfleet-ish, whatever. That's fine.
yeah.
This is a Tiermaker
we're-
episode about the best of the engineers.
And obviously we're going to only rank the primary engineers of each series. Season 1 of TNG, no. Picard's a disaster area, gone bad. So really it's more about just special. It's more about doing whatever Picard does. So we got 9 of them, and we're gonna take them, and we'll just take them in order history-wise. We'll take them from the earliest to the latest.
All right.
As best as we can arrange it.
Yeah, on that note, let's get down to the rat killing. Ba-bam. There we go.
Okay. And we shall begin in the beginning before Starfleet proper with Trip Tucker.
Trip Tucker, he was a good engineer. He embodied the gung-ho, yeehaw type of engineer, which he had to, because the time period they dealt with, it was very much the Wild West of space, so to speak. It was Starfleet.
And he had to be kind of the throwback from Scotty and all of the proper Starfleet engineers, even though he's a throwback for us at this point.
Exactly.
Boy, Trek, you failed on predicting the future on that one.
Exactly. Well, true, but hey.
We're not here to judge the content of his character. We're here to judge how good he can fix shit.
Right. I'm going to put him in the B tier on this one, because while he is a very talented engineer, I think he's limited in his abilities.
But yeah, we also have to judge him in his era. I mean, yeah, let's put it this way. Even Scotty was a little flummoxed when he showed up on Geordi LaForge's Enterprise.
Of course, yeah, because he was out of his element.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, again, he's a good engineer. We don't, to be fair, we don't have a lot to reference him against, because we really didn't see much in the way of other Starfleet engineers. I think there was one that we saw from the USS Columbia initially in later seasons of Enterprise, but Trip ends up leaving to be the chief engineer of Columbia. So, I mean, I still want to put him in the B tier because, I mean, right now, I think, like, in this case, in the way we grade things, B is average. And I would say he's good, but I would feel he's average. He's not spectacular, and I don't,
he's not A tier material. And side note, if you notice, we kind of adjusted our tiers a little bit. S tier, I think you know who's going there.
I think everybody knows.
We'll be putting one character there and one character in C-, because we got to put somebody at the bottom.
Fair enough. Yeah, because the thing is, I don't think there are any particular entries on this list that are terrible. I think least favorite, sure, but not terrible.
Yep. Speaking of that, shall we get to the next one?
Please.
I'm just gonna put him there because I still have yet to watch Discovery. I started to search for chief engineers, and I had to ask you because I wasn't even sure.
Oh, right.
Well, it's Discovery.
Yeah, the thing is that, okay, so when the series starts, Paul Stamets is the chief science officer, and eventually he kind of rolls over and kind of moves into this chief engineer type of role. I mean, they do bring in Jet Reno for season 2.
Jet Reno, what kind of stupid ass name?
Well, I mean, the character was cool. Don't get me wrong, but overall, Stamets is the one that remains constant. And the thing is, he starts off being a complete jackass. I mean, an absolute jackass in season 1 of Discovery. And even though he is like he grows as a character and he does the whole thing. I mean, you see the evolution of his relationship with Dr. Culber, who is his husband. Like I mean, you do see some great character development, but we are judging him solely on his ability as an engineer. And admittedly, my view on him was a little skewed because I'm not that big of a fan of Discovery, full stop. But I
He
still
also
think
fucks
he's
with
got.
mushrooms.
Maybe I should put him up higher because he's on the shrooms, man. I don't know, but still, the
Yeah.
but I for me personally, I have to put him in the bottom tier right now. Maybe we can
I
move.
figured he
Maybe
was
with some
going in
discussion we
C
can move
tier.
him.
Yeah, if we find somebody we despise more than a Discovery character.
Yeah,
So let's move on because we've said all we're gonna say about him. Let's get the first chronologically engineer of the Enterprise,
yep, Hammer.
the already late Hemmer.
Yeah. Okay. So
Uh,
here's the thing. If we were judging these characters based on their personality, Hemmer would be right down there with
He'd be at-
Stamets because because he's an asshole. He's a complete jerk asshole. He is a sanctimonious, arrogant
Yeah.
asshole.
but
But
he's
as
a
an
pretty
engineer,
good
he is
engineer.
freaking awesome. I want to put him in. I really want to put him in the A tier because I think he's beyond just arrogance. I think he is truly skilled.
Put him up there. Because yeah, I mean he proved himself, but then again he kind of just fiddled around with things. I don't really. Do we have really an example of him being a really really good engineer?
There was the episode. Let me think about this for a second. It's the one where he and Uhura get trapped in engineering. Was it a Gorn episode? And
Yeah, it was the Gorn episode. It was the one Gorn episode,
right.
basically where they were hiding in the nebula and had to fly near a black hole and escape.
Or was it a black hole or a brown hole? Or no, sorry, the brown hole was the joke from Lower Decks.
That's Stamets.
Not saying a word.
Anyway,
Anyways, moving onward.
yeah, we're not making a gay joke. We're just calling him an asshole.
But no, I mean, that was probably a good example of him being a good engineer. Also, the Gorn episode where dude snuffs it. Spoiler alert. He engineered, like he pulled off a couple of cool things. You know what? I tell you what. Let's, as much as I hate to say it, let's put him down in the B tier. Not because,
But at the
ahead,
top of it.
yeah, but ahead of Tucker.
There's a lot of potential we didn't get when they plunged him.
Yeah, apparently they say he's supposed to, like Bruce Horrick, the actor who plays him, says that he's supposed to be somehow returning in some capacity in season 2. I don't know what that means, but I'm certainly hoping that they can flesh out the character a little.
It's going to be one of those bridge officer tricks that they used in Lower Decks to bring Shax back.
Maybe. Or let's hope it's not let's hope it's not a freaking Bobby in the shower Dallas thing where it was all a dream.
Oh fuck no. No. Okay, so let's go on here and put Scotty up where he belongs.
just shoot him straight to the top of the list.
Yeah, it's Scotty. I mean, holy shit.
Okay.
You can't. I mean, he's a miracle worker. True, Simon Pegg's version of him was like genius beyond ridiculous, but
yeah, the only thing is, okay, love Simon Pegg, of course, love the character, but I feel like Abrams made Simon Pegg's Scotty into almost a Mary Sue. The guy who can pull off stuff that is even more ridiculous than or more fantastic than what doing Scotty can do.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, actually, this whole weekend, I went through and watched most of the catalog of Star Trek movies. I think the only two I didn't watch were the two most recent ones. And but
You mean the one most recent one and the one that doesn't exist?
thank you, for the correction. But like you know, there's a line, and I know I'm gonna butcher it, but it's like, you know, it's like trying to hit trying to hit a bullet with another bullet while riding on a horse. I mean, that's I know I'm paraphrasing it, and he's like, it never
Something
occurred
about
to me that it was
transporter
space that
bullshit.
was moving. I'm like, and then suddenly I'm like, oh yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid.
Because again, the character is amazing, as you said. I mean, his nickname is the Miracle Worker. Of course, they poke
Even
fun
though
at
he
that.
can't navigate for shit around the ship in Star Trek V, but that's Star Trek V for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, where he
He did manage to hold up to Shatner for 3 seasons and 6 movies, so put up
I
with that asshole.
well, I mean, the thing is, even the whole thing, the moniker, his nickname, the Miracle Worker, was even poked at in shit. Was it Star Trek 3? When they talked about repair time, and he says it's going to take 8 weeks, but you don't have 8 weeks, so I'll do it in 2. And he's like, Mr. Scott, have you always multiplied your repair times by a factor of 4? He says, of course. How do you think I keep my reputation as a miracle worker? I'm like, that's beautiful. That's brilliant. That's doing brilliant.
And I think he threw that at Geordi when Geordi gave Picard an honest estimate in the episode Relics. I was like,
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, wait, hang on. Did you just tell him how long it's really going to take?
Yeah.
Whap! It's like, what the hell's wrong with you, man?
Speaking of what's wrong with him, let's just get Geordi up here and make fun of him a little bit.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, look, no, you got to put Geordi in the A tier because Geordi is a very accomplished, very capable engineer. Even to the point where, you know, in the episode where he has to go into the holodeck with, you know, with Hollow Leah Brahms, they do actually do a really good job of, like, I mean, they engineer the shit out of that situation.
Yeah. I mean, only because he's not Scotty does he not get the Scotty tier. Yeah. Geordi, from the time he got out from sitting behind the helm to replace all the rolling cast of chief engineers, and they made him the chief engineer.
I want to.
That ship did whatever it needed to do until Deanna Troi crashed it.
Hey, I watched that movie. I don't know if she necessarily crashed it.
Yeah, I'm blaming her anyway.
Yeah. But the thing is also that as you said, the distinction he has of he was a like in D&D he'd be multi-classed because he started off in season 1 of TNG as the navigator or the nav station. You know, they always, like, he was one of the 2 op stations in front on the bridge. And the thing is that I feel like if they had left him there, I think if the like take whatever you want out of it, but I think if they had left Geordi in that role on the Enterprise, it would have done him a disservice. I think that LeVar Burton, being the kind of actor he is, was able to do all these different things, and he was able to roll into a better role. Putting Geordi as chief engineer was a much better role. And the thing is, as they showed him, very capable, very accomplished engineer, definitely worthy of the A tier.
Yep. So let's go to the unnamed con officer from the pilot of TNG. And the transporter chief on TNG, and our DS9 Miles O'Brien.
Yeah,
the guy who suffered the most in any Star Trek show ever. Because they love to torture O'Brien a lot on DS9.
Yeah, they did. They screwed with him so much, man. That guy is like, You know, I'm surprised he did not just like grab a phaser and just started popping people. Hey, cheap. Uh,
Fillet to phaser.
exactly.
So here's the question: who goes higher between him and Jordy? Because obviously O'Brien proved he could make Cardassian shit work well.
Ooh, that's a tough
Plus the
call.
Defiant.
Tough call. What do you think? What would be your choice?
I mean, if we go by canon, obviously he was one of the most important people in all of history, according to Lower Decks.
Of course.
So
Um,
he should probably be higher. But Geordi had more seasons and anchored more movies, and yeah, he engineered the shit. I think he engineered the shit out of more stuff than O'Brien ever did.
but you,
O'Brien just got tortured a lot.
yeah, but would you say that, like, overall ability, we're judging the character's ability to do their job, which one do you think is better? Do you think that O'Brien was able to do a better job with what he had, or or do you think that Geordi did a better job despite the fact that he had a better situation. He had, he had the Galaxy class and the Sovereign class Enterprises, to be able, and the power and the might they had, and basically, Miles O'Brien is the Star Trek equivalent of MacGyver.
Yeah, it really is. It's really a flavor thing. Yeah, Geordi had the top notch shit to work with. O'Brien had to deal with the the remnants of Tarek Noor and rebuild that into something decent. And then he finally got rewarded with a little Defiant, but
Yeah, I would be.
that's a toss up.
I'm going to let you make the final decision on who reigns in the A tier.
I'm a little more partial to O'Brien as a character, but it's more for suffering. I think Jordy stuck in a similar situation as O'Brien could probably miracle work the shit out of it. Plus, the last thing. If it weren't for Scotty, Jordy would probably be here.
Okay.
And he was able to out-engineer Scotty for a while and kept up with Scotty when Scotty got to doing his thing.
No. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I'll let you make the
because
call on
Jordy
that.
could hold up against Scott, could hold his own against Scotty. He gets the higher mark. So
Fair
O'Brien's the second point. So let's get to Voyager and poor B'Elanna Torres.
Yeah. So B'Elanna Torres
who punched her way into the chief engineer's slot.
I want to say, I mean, like, again, we're trying to stave off ranking these characters, these engineers, by our opinion of the character. We're trying to put them in
because he's Discovery, so fuck him. But he may not be at the bottom by the end. Who knows?
Let's put her in the B tier because she was an average. I'd say she's an average. Well, actually, you know what? I apologize. My apologies.
C-tier.
Yeah, C tier. Actually, you're right. I'm completely getting my grades off. C is considered average. So when I was talking about Tucker being an average engineer, he actually, for his time and what he does, he was actually a little bit above average. So he still fits into that B tier. B'Elanna, again,
she was the best they had available. So I was like, you're hired.
Yeah, if you had to take her out of the position of chief engineer for Voyager, would she have been better in another role, or would she have been as good as something else? I mean,
or would she have been in a Starfleet prison because the best you could do was be a Maquis raider?
True. So
yeah, she was kind of, I got to do this, and I'm going to manage, and I know stuff well enough to keep the ship running. And she had a lot of help and stuff.
True.
From suffering Super Ensign Harry Kim.
I think, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I really think that Tom Paris would have been a better engineer than B'Elanna Torres. But, yeah.
He could fly the ship, so that works for me. So yeah, I think she's gonna say because we gotta kind of spread this out. Yeah. She's not gonna be in the. She's not an A-tier super engineer or Scotty, um, and these guys are really good at what they do.
Hmm.
And this mushroom fucker here. Um, so yeah, I think she goes there. Which brings us
To
to
Billups.
Billups. Yeah.
So I'm gonna defer to your judgment on Billups because you are definitely much more of an expert on lower decks, as we will see in the coming weeks.
He's going in C
Spoiler.
tier. You don't get you're not a Cali class ship because you're A tier material.
Hmm.
I mean if you notice, Enterprise, 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 not.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did eventually move to DS9, but he was Enterprise grade. He was an Enterprise grade.
You got to give him credit though.
Not an
I mean,
officer.
he had
He wasn't even officer. So
he
there you
had to
go.
have like the most boring job being a transporter chief. Like, I mean, the dude didn't even have a chair to sit on. Can you imagine? Because there's four shifts on the starship, so that means that there are six. He's for 6 hours he's standing there, and he can't even lean against it because it's all like touch. Like the LCAR system is touch. So if he just like leaned his arm in, and next thing you know, he's fucking beaming people from random places on the ship into deep space.
Yeah,
Whoops.
he's got to kind of let the panel go back against the wall, and Jay and Silent Bob that shit.
Yeah, like he just sits there and puts his arm back and leans against the bulkhead.
Yeah, we get it. So yeah, when he's doing transport chief, somehow Quark gets on board. Quark becomes his Jay to his Silent Bob.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's our new movie. A new Jay and Silent Bob movie starring O'Brien and Quark.
Brian and Quark.
And Quark gets to say fuck a whole lot more.
A whole lot more. Yeah, because
What's wrong with us?
yeah, because since O'Brien is Irish, you know he'd be saying feck all the time, and
But yeah, we're definitely putting Billups ahead of Belana Torres because when he needs to, he can do if in a pinch he can do Enterprise level stuff.
right. Well, fair enough.
So yeah, because he's definitely a solid Starfleet officer, so he has at least earned that.
He's a solid something, but anyways, yeah.
Yeah. He'll never come around. Because if he does, he's no longer an engineer. Anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that brings us to our very last.
Right, Jenkum Pog. Now this I'll take lead on this one since you're not as
I'm going to
familiar
put him
with,
there to
with
start
Prodigy.
because I think that's where he's going to end up.
Right.
Or maybe.
I would definitely say he is a C tier engineer. He's average. Now, to be fair, I'd be willing to accept him going up into the B tier because he did have to, with what he's had to do, he's had to learn a lot of things, but he's also had a lot of help. I mean, the ship they're on, the Protostar, is highly advanced. So a lot of the stuff is automated, and the stuff he's learning to do, he's got a lot of help with. It's almost like the thing is, you could almost put Geordi in that tier if he didn't have to engineer the shit out of things. But Jenkin Pog, he's learning. He is still trying to figure things out, and yeah, I mean.
Based on that, yeah, and because basically these are kids that are kind of growing into the roles, I would say he should be at best C tier, and maybe even put Mushroom Bitch up here to that, and put him in the C minus because you're still learning. I don't know. Your thoughts?
Oh, tough call. I mean, I want to give Stamets a better rating just because he is good at what he does.
He is technically a better engineer, to be blunt.
Yeah. I'll agree.
I think we're gonna have to do that.
There you
go.
If we
is not at the bottom.
If we revisited this list later on after another season or two of Prodigy, that he might move up if he grows as an engineer.
Yeah, if he can engineer the shit out of something, Stamets is getting his mushroom ass chucked back into the bottom end.
Yeah, there's a plot. There's a plot point going on right now in the second half of the first season of Prodigy, which if he manages to pull some stuff off,
please.
What's that?
spoiler free this, please.
Oh yeah. No, like I said, there's a plot point that he's involved in the um, in the second half of the first season of Prodigy, where if he manages to accomplish what I hope he will, I think he'll move up in that tier if we should revisit it later on. But right now, yeah, I think he's right where he belongs. So,
yeah. Which is still a good place on this list because there are no bad engineers here.
Exactly. I mean, there could be
It's
worse.
It's tier rating. We have to pick a high, and we have to put somebody at the bottom. We have to put Scotty at the top.
I like that. We had to put somebody at the bottom. We had to put Scotty at the top. It's not even like we didn't have to put somebody at the top. We had to put Scotty at the top because it's Scotty. You know,
it's Scotty. I mean, he is. I mean, yeah. The original cast are all iconic in their own ways, but Scotty is iconic and so extremely competent anytime he's ever been doing anything.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, as far as Scotty's concerned, there have been technically, I mean, even though they didn't say officially, there have been four. Sorry, my apologies. 4 instances of the character of Montgomery Scott. One was unconfirmed, and the other one is non-canon. So of course we have Jimmy Doohan, who is the OG Scotty. We have Simon Pegg, who is a very good representation of the character. We have the anonymous, unconfirmed Scotty from the season 1 finale of Strange New Worlds, which we hear the voice, but we never see the character, and they never officially acknowledge that it's Scotty. And
so
then
it
we
might
have
be a tease like Kirk coming up to the bridge in the first episode. Oh, it's Sam Kirk! Surprise!
But then the other one who is non-canon, of course, is Scotty from Star Trek Continues, played by Jimmy Doohan's son, Chris Doohan, who also played an engineer, had an extra part in the Abramsverse movies. So, you know.
And to be fair, he is basically playing his father.
Exactly. So that being said, I think we've got a very good list there. And if you guys have any opinions, if you disagree with us, agree with us, please obviously comment down on the video and let us know what you think.
Unless you think Stamets is better than Scotty, then go to hell.
Yeah, exactly. That being said, that is all the time we have for this episode of Treknicity.
Really all the time.
Exactly. Thank you for everybody who watches this. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to check out our other stuff here at the bottoms, as you can see. And then also be sure to check us out when we go live, either during the week when Patrick does OMG Live, or when we do our OMG on Sunday afternoons. And
time of recording is 5 minutes away.
Exactly. That being said, thank you again for watching Treknicity. I'm Lars.
I'm Patrick.
And as always, we encourage you to rock out with your Spock out. We will see you next time.